Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Despite appearing in just one episode, the MCU's Bullseye has had a huge impact on the events of Daredevil, Born Again, making it hard to believe that he was initially going to skip out an entire season. While it isn't technically Season 4 of the original Netflix-based Daredevil, Born Again is a continuation of Matt Murdock's inaugural outing, with the events of Daredevil being confirmed as MCU canon. It has been 7 years since Daredevil's final season aired, with an almost decade-long gap in universe thanks to the events of Avengers Endgame, placing the current events of the MCU in 2027. Suffice it to say, a lot has happened during that time. Daredevil continued to operate throughout the 5-year period of the snap, working to take down Fisk's criminal empire and going toe-to-toe with new MCU figures like Echo. Whether Daredevil fought Bullseye in the same period is currently unclear, but the fact that Frank Castle referred to Bullseye by his moniker for the first time recently suggests that he has been operating as a villain throughout that time. Still, if one Daredevil showrunner's original plan had played out, Bullseye's appearances would have felt more disjointed. Daredevil Season 3 showrunner Eric Olson spoke with his predecessor, Daredevil Season 1 showrunner Stephen S. Knight, in July 2020, and they reflected on their work on the critically acclaimed Marvel show. The conversation was part of the #SaveDaredevil campaign that strove to revive the Daredevil series after its cancellation in November 2018, just 1 month after the last episode of Season 3 was released. When reflecting on his future plans for Daredevil before its cancellation, Olson revealed that he didn't intend for Bullseye to return until Season 5, stating, Olson is referencing the final shot of Wilson Bethel's Benjamin Dex Poindexter in Daredevil Season 3, where he was seen being operated on after having his back broken by Wilson Fisk in the climactic three-way brawl between them and Daredevil. Poindexter played an integral role in Daredevil Season 3, and was thankfully teased to return despite being severely incapacitated by Kingpin, with a shot of a bullseye pattern being reflected in his eyes as he was being operated on. If Olson's plan came to fruition, however, there would have been too much time between Dex's appearances. It makes sense that Dex would have needed a significant amount of time to heal from his wounds. Having his back broken by Kingpin is no trivial injury, which the experimental use of cognium in a surgery performed by Dr. Oyama signifies. Still, it isn't as if Daredevil himself hasn't spent long periods recovering, only to fall foul of the process over again. Ultimately, I think Bullseye's cognium enhancements might have even helped speed the process along. The point is, if Bullseye had skipped the entirety of Daredevil Season 4, it would have been several years before Wilson Bethel's expertly portrayed Daredevil villain reappeared on screen. There were nearly 2 years between the releases of Daredevil Season 2 and Daredevil Season 3, meaning we could have been looking at 4 years before seeing Dex back in action. And that's not counting the impact of the pandemic in 2020. With the cliffhanger ending of Daredevil Season 3, I think this would have been too long to wait. Instead, Daredevil Born Again opened with the iconic Daredevil villain engaging in one of the most heinous acts of villainy I've seen in the MCU. While it might have been 7 years since Daredevil, the fact that Daredevil Born Again basically picked up where the previous series left off felt natural and appropriate for Dex's characterization. Thankfully, at this point, Bullseye had almost a decade to recover, allowing Daredevil Born Again to circumvent addressing his injury entirely. What's more, it looks as if Bethel's Bullseye is soon to return, despite being swiftly imprisoned for the murder of Foggy Nelson in Episode 1. Trailer footage featuring Bullseye hasn't yet emerged in Daredevil Born Again, all but confirming there is more to come from Benjamin Poindexter. I'm pretty hyped by this prospect, given how compelling the MCU's Bullseye is and the fact that he is such an important villain in Marvel Comics. I can't believe Netflix's Daredevil show wouldn't have brought back Bullseye until Season 5. The world of the Marvel Cinematic Universe has been electrifying over the years, transforming beloved comic book heroes and villains into unforgettable live-action portrayals. Among these adaptations, Netflix's Daredevil has carved out a niche, renowned for its gritty storytelling, complex characters, and breathtaking action sequences. Yet, even the most celebrated stories sometimes stumble or miss the mark when it comes to fan expectations and character development. One of the most head-scratching decisions in the series is the apparent delay in bringing back one of its most iconic villains, Bullseye, until Season 5. It raises questions about narrative pacing, character arcs, and whether the show could have captured even more magic by introducing Bullseye earlier. The impact of Bullseye on Daredevil's mythos ***. Before delving into why it's perplexing to delay Bullseye's return, it's essential to understand his significance within the Daredevil mythos. Introduced in the early issues of Daredevil comics back in 1967, Bullseye is a chilling assassin with a deadly accuracy that makes him a formidable foe for Matt Murdock. His lack of remorse and almost supernatural hitting ability make him not just a villain, but a significant psychological adversary. The history between Daredevil and Bullseye is deeply intertwined, rich with tension and betrayal that shapes both characters profoundly. The weight Bullseye carries means he isn't just another comic book villain to throw into the mix. His presence can deepen the stakes and add emotional layers to the story. By keeping Bullseye sidelined until Season 5, Daredevil missed a crucial opportunity to develop rich thematic arcs and establish the psyche of Matt Murdock further, which could have set the tone for the entire series. Narrative pacing and character development ***. One might argue that a late entry for such a pivotal character could allow for more impactful storytelling, creating a climactic build-up that would make his eventual reveal all the more dramatic. While this theory holds merit in some contexts, the pragmatic reality of storytelling within a narrative framework often dictates that earlier introductions can help blossom richer character relationships and backstories. In the earlier seasons, viewers watched Matt Murdock navigate the murky waters of vigilant justice, trying to balance his life as a lawyer with his secret identity as Daredevil. The introduction of Bullseye during this internal struggle could have provided an exciting contrast. While Murdock must manage the intricacies of law and morality, Bullseye operates with a single-minded focus on chaos and death. This dichotomy could have served to amplify the internal conflict within Murdock, leading to character arcs that are just as compelling as the overarching plot. Bullseye's involvement could not only reflect on Matt's struggles of self-control and morality, but also offer fans electrifying action sequences that showcase the unique abilities of both characters. Introducing Bullseye as a recurring antagonist earlier on could have set the stage for a deeper exploration of the themes of justice, trauma, and the fine line between heroism and villainy. Missed opportunities for interactions ***. Furthermore, one of the most thrilling aspects of comic book storytelling is character interactions. This concept is especially true in the world of Daredevil, where relationships shape the narrative as much as the direct conflict between hero and villain. By delaying Bullseye until Season 5, the show could have squandered extensive opportunities for rich encounters between Daredevil and Bullseye that establishes their bitter rivalry. Instead of a full season of stoic battles between Murdock and other villains or law cases, the early introduction of Bullseye could have added such layers of complexity. For example, during their first skirmish, viewers could see Daredevil grapple not only with physical combat, but also the psychological warfare Bullseye would likely employ, taunting and challenging Daredevil's sense of justice. This dynamic would give viewers a glimpse into Murdoch's psyche while creating dramatic cliffhangers that pull audiences back week after week. Moreover, the introduction of Bullseye could open the door to new characters and alliances. As a notorious assassin with connections to various crime factions, recruiting him earlier could have helped establish a larger web of deceit that centers around Murdoch's world. Characters like Elektra, who has a history with Bullseye, might have been able to interact with our hero in ways that amplify their narratives and incorporate a larger scope of doom looming over Hell's Kitchen. Building toward an epic clash ***. The pent-up potential for an explosive showdown between Daredevil and Bullseye could only have benefited from years of character development. The slow burn of tension could lead viewers through a gauntlet of emotions, creating heightened stakes as Season 5 approaches. When Bullseye finally returns in full force, the tension between the two would be palpable, and fans would be primed for a battle that encapsulates everything they've invested in for years. If done correctly, Season 5 wouldn't simply be a culmination of their battles throughout seasons before, but rather a chance to delve deeper into their narratives, existential crises, and the consequences of their confrontations. A clash fueled not just by physical prowess, but also by emotional stakes elevates a typical showdown into something that resonates deeply with viewers. Filling the void with new antagonists ***. Netflix's Daredevil has shown a penchant for complex villains, from Wilson Fisk, Kingpin, to more obscure characters who resonate well with fans. The decision to keep Bullseye in the wings could support the introduction of other antagonists, ensuring that fans remain captivated. But the intrinsic problem with this strategy is that new foes lack the depth and history that Bullseye possesses alongside Daredevil. While new characters can offer fresh conflicts, they do not share the psychological stakes or historical context that Bullseye brings. While Kingpin represents wealth and cunning, he lacks the direct antagonistic relationship that Bullseye embodies. This dynamic is transformative for Murdoch. The conflict could verge on personal rather than simply transactional. Thus, while the show sought to innovate with new characters, not utilizing Bullseye earlier may have disappointed those who crave a complex, emotionally charged backdrop familiar to comic book readers. Ultimately, a missed connection ***. In retrospect, the decision to delay Bullseye's appearance until Season 5 feels like a missed connection that could have powered the narrative and character arcs with emotional depth and intensity. Given the rich tapestry of relationships and conflicts that the character brings, fans are left pondering a what-if scenario. What if Bullseye had been introduced earlier, allowing for a burgeoning rivalry that captures the imagination of audiences? What if the psychological intrigue offered by their interactions enriched the storytelling experience? The potential for a dramatic blend of action and emotion resonates deeply in the world of comic book characters. What remains unquestionable is that the delayed return of Bullseye in Daredevil is not just a narrative choice, it's a pivotal moment that could have shifted the storytelling landscape for the series. Instead of waiting until Season 5 to unleash this iconic villain, earlier integration could have transformed the show's trajectory, creating an experience rich with stakes and conflict for both characters and viewers alike. A lesson in the importance of timing, character development, and the power of well-utilized storytelling in the superhero genre.